The night I went to see my girlfriend, I thought I was walking toward comfort, familiarity, and love. Instead, I stood frozen on the porch, the air heavy and unforgiving, as the door opened to a face I hadn't prepared myself for. Her mother stood there, eyes steady, expression unreadable, and before I could even ask if my girlfriend was home, she calmly said that we needed to talk. In that moment, something inside my chest tightened, the kind of feeling you get when life is about to change direction without asking your permission. I had no idea that this simple visit, something I had done 100 times before, would become the turning point of my entire life. Before the story pulls you deeper, take a second to pause. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that love can grow in the most unexpected ways, please like this video, share it with someone who might need it, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need them. I had been dating her for nearly 2 years, long enough to imagine a future but still young enough to fear how fragile everything felt. We met when life was messy for both of us. I was working 2 jobs, barely holding on to my dreams, while she was trying to figure out who she wanted to be in a world full of expectations. With her, I felt seen. With her, the noise in my head quieted. I thought love was enough to carry us forward. I thought showing up was enough. But standing there that night, I realized that sometimes love exists inside systems bigger than 2 people, systems built from family history, pain, and unspoken fears. Her mother invited me inside, and the house felt different than usual. The warmth I associated with laughter and shared meals was replaced by a tense stillness. I sat down, hands folded, heart racing. She didn't raise her voice or accuse me of anything. Instead, she spoke calmly, almost gently, about responsibility, about the weight of choices, and about the fear parents carry when they see their children walking toward uncertain futures. She talked about her own life, about sacrifices she had made, and about how easy it is to confuse love with escape. Every word felt like a mirror held up to parts of myself I had been avoiding. She didn't say I wasn't good enough, but somehow I felt it anyway. Not because she judged me, but because she asked questions I hadn't asked myself. Where was I going? What was I building? How would I protect her daughter not just emotionally, but practically, mentally, and spiritually? I wanted to defend myself, to explain that love should be enough, but the truth sat heavy in my throat. I was trying, yes, but trying and being ready are not always the same thing. When I finally left the house that night, I didn't see my girlfriend. That hurt more than anything else. I walked back through empty streets, replaying the conversation over and over. Anger came first, then sadness, then something deeper and more uncomfortable, clarity. For the first time, I wondered if I had been hiding behind love to avoid facing my own lack of direction. I realized how easy it is to promise forever when you haven't fully learned how to stand on your own. The weeks that followed were some of the hardest of my life. My girlfriend and I talked less, not because we didn't care, but because we were both trying to understand what that conversation meant for us. I threw myself into work, into self-improvement, into the kind of quiet reflection that forces you to confront who you really are when no one is watching. I saved money. I made plans. I failed and tried again. Some nights, loneliness felt unbearable, but it also became a teacher. It showed me where I needed to grow. Slowly, things began to change. Not dramatically, not like in movies, but in small, meaningful ways. I started believing in myself again, not because someone loved me, but because I was becoming someone I could respect. I learned that real love doesn't rush you past growth, it challenges you to rise. And even though I didn't hear from her mother during that time, her words stayed with me, shaping decisions I didn't even realize I was making differently. Months later, I was invited back to the house. The fear returned the moment I stood on that porch again, but this time it was mixed with something else, confidence. When the door opened, her mother looked at me the same way she had before, calm and observant, but this time there was a softness there. We talked again, not about fears, but about progress. About effort. About the quiet strength it takes to change your life without applause. She didn't praise me, but she acknowledged me, and that felt like something I had earned. Eventually, I saw my girlfriend again, and the connection was still there, deeper and more honest than before. We weren't clinging to each other out of fear anymore. We were choosing each other with intention. I understood then that her mother hadn't tried to push me away. She had tried to protect her daughter by pushing me to become better. And in doing so, she had given me a gift I didn't know I needed. As time passed, our relationship grew stronger, not because it was easy, but because it was built on growth, patience, and mutual respect. I learned that sometimes the people who challenge you the most are the ones who care in ways you don't immediately recognize. Love isn't just about being accepted as you are, sometimes it's about being challenged to become who you're capable of being. If this story is touching something inside you, if it reminds you of a moment when life forced you to grow in uncomfortable ways, please take a moment now to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement helps keep these real, emotional stories alive. And before the ending, here's a special request. Comment below with the word growth if you believe that the hardest conversations often lead to the most meaningful transformations. Looking back, I no longer remember that night as the moment everything almost ended. I remember it as the moment everything truly began. A simple knock on a door, an unexpected conversation, and a choice to face myself instead of running. Sometimes, the most powerful love stories don't start with romance, but with honesty. And sometimes, the people who say we need to talk are the ones who help us finally listen.